Guys, thanks so much for your time today. I appreciate we're running a little bit over. I would like a cup of coffee just as much as the rest of you, so I will try and keep this short. I want to talk to you today about an opportunity that's available to all of you on how you can become the catalyst for your customers' change, taking control in the way that is cost efficient and beneficial to both parties, to both you and your customer, and deliver and drive their CX initiatives. And what I'm going to briefly do is highlight the methodology and the technology that you can adapt in order to deliver value to your customer, become indispensable to that customer by the value that you're driving, in return, drive long-term residual incomes, and then really ultimately differentiate yourself from your competitors. But perhaps most importantly, what we're looking to do is to eradicate that pain of change, and it was touched on last year at CX18, eradicating that pain of change in the customer's dread, essentially, when making changes to their CX operations. So what exactly is the opportunity? It really boils down to the speed within which customers are able to deliver change, coupled with advancements in technology and the ever-evolving expectation of customers. The gap between what your customers are able to deliver and what they actually want to deliver has never been greater. And herein lies the opportunity. By adopting the appropriate technology and taking a DevOps approach to bridge that void, you can really take advantage of the opportunities available. And a very, very quick show of hands, who here has heard of DevOps? That's what I would hope. Who's actually using DevOps to the benefit and to deploy change to their customers currently? And therein lies the opportunity. It's a 3D representation of the curve that you can get ahead of. It's again that ability to deliver value, become indispensable, drive long-term residual income, differentiate yourselves so you can capitalize and gain additional customers, and like I say, eradicate that pain of change. So I'll go into the technology in just a second, but really what is DevOps? DevOps is the union of people, process, and technology to enable continuous delivery of value to customers. So it's the people, process, and technology. We have the people, the guys in the room. What is the process? What does that actually look like, DevOps? Well, what you've got is this ability where you're looking at your development team, your quality assurance team, and your operations team to continually work together, to collaborate in order to drive continuous release and deployment, continuous testing, and continuous monitoring of those changes, and then share and make combined decisions based upon the results of that monitoring and testing. So like I say, we have the people. We've touched very briefly on the process, which is DevOps. And finally, we need to look at the appropriate technology, and that's where I want to come on to. So our automated testing platform, ETS, is cloud or on-prem. It's a self-built, modernly architected platform. Some of the major advantages is that it's completely language agnostic. So it can support any dialect. We are not reliant on text-to-speech or speech-to-text technology. It is platform agnostic, so it will be pure cloud, pure connect, pure engage. It has unlimited users, which is imperative if you want to use it for a DevOps approach. It really it ensures that everybody within your organization is able to take advantage of the technology. It has full API access, because we look at it that ETS will be the starting point of your DevOps journey. And if you want to evolve more and bring in more products, you've got a full suite of APIs in order to be able to do that. If you want to white label the product and roll that into solutions that you're already operating, you're able to do so. What we're able to do is test the customer experience all the way from the carrier right the way down to the agent instrument in an intuitive platform, and we can test the IVR routes, the audio quality, any data dips that are taking place, and making sure that they're operating in the way that they should be. And what we really want to be able to do is to allow ETS to form the foundation of your DevOps approach. What does that look like exactly? So within the pre-production environment, developers are able to easily upload changes in a number of different ways, which would automatically trigger test case creation that you can execute again. The quality assurance team can grab those tests, execute against those, present the results back in minutes rather than days or perhaps weeks against manual testing. And then the operations team, who has had complete visibility as what's been going on the whole time, is able to pull those changes into production. Once they've been approved and in production, they can then be monitored on a regular basis at a frequency that would be determined by you. If issues are picked up on during monitoring, all teams can work together and share equal responsibility for resolving the issues and make informed decisions through greater transparency of the information that's being shared. So a bit more about the technology. We call it the ETS journey. And that's kind of taking a look at the different features and tools that are available within the platform. The first being the Discover and Benchmark, where our IVR discovery tool will traverse through an entire system at the click of a button. It will automatically map out an entire IVR. It will allow you to easily ingest changes from a pre-production environment into ETS that can be tested before they're placed into a production environment. And then you can rapidly gain a detailed understanding of existing CS operations and uncover any errors. And obviously that data is very easily shared across all your teams. Once you've done that, once you've benchmarked and you've understood what it is or how your customer is currently operating, you have the ability then to really drive your value, to explain to your customer and help your customer improve upon the delivery of their CX initiatives. And we do that through functional testing, so it allows you to deliver continual improvements to your customers' self-serve or IVR operations, quickly soak test your entire infrastructure after changes have been made, rapidly identify errors and faults that you may have come across during the development stage, and then easily analyze and share those results with everybody within your team. Once you've done that and you're happy that the systems are operating as they should be, you then have the ability again to deliver even more value to your customer. So you're going to say to them, look, you know, we've rolled this product out and we've rolled these changes out for you, and now we're going to actively monitor that. And again, you're able to monitor that at schedules that are appropriate to you and really identify and resolve issues before they impact your customer or your customer's customer. Protecting their brand reputation and ensure that they're delivering that consistent customer experience. And then finally, another opportunity to drive even more value. So you say to your customers, well, look, let's put your system through its paces. Let's understand what happens when it is operating at peak and try and mitigate as much risk as we possibly can by identifying errors in a managed environment and in a managed way, rather than just keeping fingers crossed that everything works as it should be. So you can carry out load testing to make sure systems are built to specification, can mitigate the risk, as I say, able to make sure that DR systems are operating properly by forcing them to kick over, by pushing an increased number of calls through the system if you need to. And you're able to test carrier access and any burst capabilities that have been provisioned by the customer. A prime example with Pure Cloud is, bring your own carrier opportunities. Well, you can deliver that value to say to them, let's make sure that actually the carrier has opened the right number of SIP channels for you, that the ISDN circuits have been provisioned appropriately. If they are working with an external party for CTI integrations, let's make sure that the timings and the information that is being passed back into the system is operating as you would expect it to. So the benefits of bringing ETS and DevOps together, it allows a faster time to market, and which ultimately results, my slide thing hasn't shifted over, so I've got to try and remember what it was I was talking about. So faster time to market, which allows you to have deliver products quicker, more cost effectively, in a more efficient way that drives value not only to your customer, but it ensures that you are delivering quality solutions and services as well, which in turn leads to an improved return on investment for the customer. They can realize that return on that investment much sooner. You've got earlier detection, both in a pre-production and a production environment. So if you identify the errors sooner, you're able to resolve them quicker. In a pre-production environment, that would look like a piece of development that has taken place relatively early in the development cycle, that if it was picked up in those early stages would be very quick and easy to resolve, rather than it being picked up just pre-deployment, where actually making a change now would cause a much more significant issue. Like I say, in a production environment, that's identifying issues before they actually impact the customer, before they impact that brand reputation. And ultimately allows you to create more stable operating environments because the information that is being shared is accurate and up to date. And ultimately, it allows you that time to focus on different areas of the business, not just have to focus on the testing of your solutions, but actually other elements which improve the overall quality and service of the solution that you're providing. And finally, you'd have that improved collaboration between your teams, where everybody is taking a mutual responsibility to not only just create a much better solution for the customer, but also manage and maintain that solution in an appropriate way as well. So this is a very quick slide that I had to put together just before I flew out here on Monday. Reached out to one of our partners in North America and asked them for some stats around what they've seen when deploying DevOps and using ECS to deploy those new methodologies. They saw a reduction in regression time, drop from 6 weeks down to 24 hours, which is staggering. They've saved a substantial amount of money by being able to operate in that way, and obviously drive resource that was used from a testing perspective into a much more revenue-generating model. And then, like I say, focus on ways in which they can improve the service for the customer. They have seen a 60% increase in time in which they can actually sell new products to their customers. They're not just constantly rolling out a single product over a long period of time. They're deploying them much quicker, which ultimately means that they can start the next conversation on the new products that are available and can improve that service for the customer. They have a 200% faster time to market, which was staggering. A lot of that has come from that ability for them to be able to continually drive improvements, reduce their testing time, and collaborate in a much more appropriate way. And then this last one is this 70% new customer acquisition. They've attributed this new process in which they're operating to 70% of their new wins and their new logos being based around the ability that they can deliver in a much more cost-effective and time-appropriate manner. So, like I say, it all comes back down to eradicating the pain of change. Just as it's your responsibility to eradicate that pain of change for your customer, we want to eradicate that pain of change for you when you're looking to deploy new methodologies to drive improvements both internally and the service that you deliver to your customer. And look at this new way of working. So we have a great partner model with the flexibility to grow with your requirements. It requires minimal investment to get started. We are literally just outside here with our stand, so please come and talk to us about how we can really support some of these new initiatives and some of these new opportunities for you. And I just want to thank you all very much for your time, and we can hopefully all go and grab a coffee now. Thank you very much.